It's my last day to say my in-person goodbyes to my friends here in Nashville, but I realize there's no way I'm going to be able to fit them all in, and that there are a lot of people that don't live here that I won't get to talk to about where I'm going and what I'm doing, and I've gotten a lot of questions. So I thought a quick little video would be the easiest way to fill everyone in on this crazy adventure that I am embarking upon. So I moved to Nashville almost 18 years ago. All I ever wanted to do was work in the music business and help be a part of something that I was super passionate about. And after almost 12 years of doing it, I realized I needed to have a dream beyond my business card, and that I needed to figure out who I was outside of my job, and to have a well-rounded, fulfilling life. And I lucked into this incredible job where I traveled the world and did really cool things with incredible people, and I had an amazing time. But working where travel and entertainment meet was pretty tough last year, and I found myself with some extra time on my hands. And so I went on what I call the Helping Hands tour. And if somebody in my circle spoke up and said that they needed some assistance, I found the safest way possible to get to them. And so I was COVID responsible and careful, and found ways to have a lot of fun along the way. And I've learned that I really enjoy helping people, and I'm really good at packing a whole lot into into whatever I have going on. So whatever obligation I have planned, I find some extra bonuses to add to it, and realized that that could potentially be a life. So I went home to Austin for the holidays and sat down and thought about where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do for this next chapter. And Nashville hasn't felt like home to me for the last couple of years. I was living out of my suitcase and gone all the time, and I found that I liked it that way. I didn't really want to spend a lot of time here in Nashville, but I liked my job. I had a great living situation. I wasn't really willing to blow my life up to go do something wild and crazy. But when COVID blew everything up for me, I realized I really don't need that much to get by, and that it's the little things that make me happy, and I wanted to figure out how I could pursue them. So I applied to hundreds of jobs in New York and LA. I was looking to work in music, film, or TV, and realized that I was going to have the exact same situation that I had working here, that I was just going to throw myself 120% into a job and lose myself in a cool job in an industry that I cared about, but that I wasn't going to be happy or fulfilled, and that I needed to figure out a way to do that for myself. And if I rented my house out and I didn't lease a new car, I really didn't have a lot of overhead to manage, and that I could live on the income from my house and work a part-time virtual job and just keep myself moving. So I started the ball rolling in that direction. I realized, trapped in my house, surrounded by my things, that I just didn't want or need them anymore. And I've collected some really cool, unique, interesting vintage stuff over the years, and I knew it was going to be hard for me to give it up. But when I came back from Christmas, I realized Christmas wasn't over. Gifting is my love language, and I really enjoy finding things that I think people will like and appreciate, and so gifting them things from my own collection became a really fun game. So for the last month, I have been trashing, donating, selling, gifting, just getting rid of everything. My dad took 2 loads of things to store in his basement, 1 load that he wanted to keep for himself, and 1 load of mementos and memories that I just couldn't let go of. And this is what I'm left with. This is all going to fit in my car and go whatever direction I point it, and I'm okay with that. I had every intention of going home to Austin on Saturday and calling that my home base and starting my adventure from there. But when Governor Abbott made this boneheaded decision to open Texas up all the way and no longer require masks, that stopped sounding like a really good idea. My dad texted me a picture yesterday of his deck with all of the snow melted and said, "We still wear masks here. You sure you don't want to just come here? Your stuff's here already." And that does sound like a good plan, but Buffalo in winter is not super high on my let's kick off the adventure list, and I will make it there when it is warm consistently. But for right now, I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing. I signed on for a part-time virtual assistant job where I bid on how many hours a week or month I want to work, and they were totally fine with me delaying that. So as of today, my plan is go home to Austin and drop my stuff off, and then find some house sitting jobs out west and bounce around and work on the novel and children's book that I have been tinkering with in COVID. So I just need a minute to catch my breath and recharge my batteries, because I did this really big project in San Diego renovating a beach rental, and then I came right back into getting rid of everything in my house, and it's just kind of been a lot. It's been easier than I thought it would be. I thought I would be an emotional wreck in the corner just freaking out, but I'm happy and excited and know that I'm going in the right direction. I have had the most incredible experience talking about what I want to do with my friends and family. I thought people would tell me I was crazy. Now isn't the time. What are you talking about? You want to travel the world and not have a permanent address and just work part-time? Shouldn't you be saving for retirement? All of the things I thought people would say, they didn't say. Everybody was just like, the universe is telling you it's time to go, and you have a great plan. Do it. Have a great time. Take me with you. And I so appreciate that, because I'm a girl who needs a plan. I like thinking long term. I never live in the moment. I obsess about everything going exactly the way I've laid it out, because I'm super efficient and strategic, and that just doesn't work here. And if anything, that's what I'm most grateful for in the pandemic, was that we had to learn to take it one day at a time, because some different hellstorm rained down on us every other day, and we just had to roll with it. And I guess I got enough practice that it just doesn't bother me anymore. So I would love to tell you that my next chapter is this job and this place, and that I have a great plan and everything is the way that you would want or expect it to be, but it's not. I don't know what I'm doing or where I'm going. I just know that I have passions that I really want to chase, and I'm going to take the time, space, and grace to figure them out and see what works for me. My mom says the reason I can't figure out what I really want next is that I like and am good at a lot of different things, and that makes it really complicated when you're trying to figure out where to throw all of your energy. And she's right, because there are so many things I'm interested in. I'm having a really hard time being like, I'm going to give this my single-minded determination. So my single-minded determination is try things on and figure out what works for me and what doesn't, and move around and see what I see, because I love to explore and try new things, and I love telling great stories, and I think that this opportunity is the best way for me to collect that. I went to private Baptist school in the South. Most of my friends are married with kids. I have gotten so many pitying looks and ridiculousness from people that are like, why aren't you married? Why don't you have kids? How could you possibly feel fulfilled when you don't do that? And I started thinking how lucky I am that I don't have those things, and I have the flexibility to do whatever I want. And so I started an Instagram account called SpoiledSpinster, which is all celebrating all the reasons why it's awesome to not have that traditional life. And I really want to show other women that it's okay to not have 2.5 kids and a white picket fence and a dog and all of the things that society tells us we're supposed to want and need. I am happy. I have a full life. I have great family and friends, and I have incredible stories and memories, and I am excited to throw myself into them 100% and get this thing going. So if you want to follow me on Spoiled Spinster, it will be about all of the fun things that you can do if you aren't tied down. I am starting a blog, and I will potentially do more videos. It's not something I'm super comfortable with, but it's something that I think is necessary and the easiest way to tell the stories that I want to tell. So I am sitting in this big empty house, working on moving those things forward. I do plan on spending some time in Austin. I have a friend who is also half Vietnamese, but she's adopted, and she doesn't know much about her culture or her history, and it made me realize that I don't either, and I have family that I should be talking to and learn those things about myself before it's too late. So my grandma has been trapped in her house, hiding from COVID all year, just like everyone else is, but she lost her mom, and life's too short to not take advantage of all of the gifts that we've been given. And so for right now, I'll say my plan is to not have a firm plan, to work enough to get by, to fill my life with the things that bring me joy and to reconnect with my roots. I've been gone for a long time and I've forgotten my Vietnamese. I don't know how to make any of the food that my family bonds and gathers with. We just let the elders do it. And I realized that no one in my generation is going to be able to continue these traditions. So I'm going to be talking to my grandma and learning her stories. Our family's been talking on Zoom a lot while my uncle writes a book about our family's escape from Vietnam and the war and all of the miracles that had to happen for us to get here. And I want to hear them for myself. And I want to learn how to share the food that makes us family. And so I'll be sharing that on my blog and making some videos with my grandma so that my sweet friends who I have tried to bring a taste of Vietnam to can follow along. My dad teaches a workshop in Vietnam every year and I've never gotten to go. And so my hope is to have enough Vietnamese to get by, to know enough about my family's story, to see the things that made us who we are. And then I'm going to continue my way around the world, pet and house sitting and working a virtual job. And you can follow all those adventures, or you cannot. You can think I'm a lunatic and tell me I'm crazy, and I don't know. We'll see what happens. I will keep my eyes peeled for great job opportunities. Maybe something will come up where I want to settle down, but in the meantime, I had several friends reach out after that renovation project saying, please come help me with my house. So I'm going to be bouncing around the country, masking, quarantining, testing, doing all the things I need to do to keep everyone safe while I just do the things that make me happy. And even though I no longer have a home, making a home for other people brings me a lot of joy. So if you would like to have me come stay with you for a little while, I promise to keep you safe and to make things beautiful. So feel free to message me if you want to be on that list too. But I'm excited to see everyone out on the road. I have no idea what direction I'm heading or exactly what I'm doing, but I'm super open to suggestions and points and directions that you think I will enjoy. But really, I'm just excited for this adventure. I don't have everything ironed out and buttoned up, which is so unlike me, but I'm really excited about it. So hopefully I see you on a visit somewhere.